quality control is very important. In our business, we need to ensure that websites work in different browsers, for example. You know, has it been tested in Internet Explorer 7? Check. In Internet Explorer 8. Now all these variables can change. You know, in the building context, again, it could be, has the tiler finished sealing the tiles? Check. Now, whoever clicks those is accountable to saying yes or no. And if the job hasn't been done and they've said yes, well, then that becomes a management issue. This is a quality assurance checklist, and it can be as long as you need it to be. And we can turn it on and make it mandatory in line with tasks. So when we set a task, you can see here, require checklist before completion. But again, we won't go into the detail of the tasks in this video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up this as a trial job, and I'll treat it as a website project, and you can see how all the functions work. So the first thing is I'm going to start from the top. So we click through. I need to speak to my colleagues and let them know where it's at. Okay. Okay, so I've written a log. Client is called requesting a timeline for their job. I will create a project timeline today. And now I don't need to call the team, email them. I just write the log about my intentions, select the staff member. In this case, I'll select myself, and we'll add that post. Now, this is a demo. So my name's video demo in this video, and it's recorded my name. It's tagged my name with that log down to the minute, 10:19 p.m. Client is called requesting a timeline for their job. I'll create a project timeline today, and I emailed it to George. Now, I'm letting George know. George is my boss, and I'm letting him know what my intentions are. So I'm started the project. Now that I've given this project my attention, I'll mark it 10%. I can't change that, and that is to control staff, I guess, deceiving or misleading the project manager or the studio manager on each project. Now I need to assign it to a project manager, so I'll assign myself. That's me there, set. Or I could assign my boss, George, which is me. In that instance, we can have a photo visual as well, which makes it very easy to identify yourself in a project without having to read. So again, subtleties, all about efficiency. I will decide, well, this is important in the cash flow status report for this week, so I'll mark that as an important project that has to be finished so we can get paid at the other end. So that's our symbol for it, but it could be any other symbol in your business. Now I need to set a project start date, and that might be Monday. And it definitely needs to be finished. Well, let's go to the project. If we're promising a 4-week turnaround on this website, well then that needs to be a 4-week turnaround. So for Monday, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But that would be there. We set that time. I don't want any contractors at this stage. We can handle it in-house. And project is in production. Now everything is up to date. I've got. Now I've contacted and written a log to my superior saying I'm going, what my intentions are. I will create a project timeline today. Now the client needs this for reassurance and to know where their project's at. Now, let's work it. So we get an overview, and I'll say add new. The first stage is design website interface. Needs to have a date, and that'll happen on Tuesday, and it's been scheduled. I'll add another one. Seek client approval. We'll give the client a week to approve that, down to Friday. Proceed to web development. That'll happen on the Monday. We'll add one more. Send website live after client approval. And that might happen a week later. Save that list, and there we go. So I've created a timeline of events, and these are the major milestones, and these are the dates, and this is the project manager, and as we move along we need to adjust the timeline and mark the status so that our superiors can go in there and acknowledge that each section's been done. Now if I want to email that timeline to the client, I simply press the button here, and it's already pre-filled the log. I can say, hi John, timeline for the project, regards. Now in here is where your email signature goes. Because this is a new account, I haven't created one, but this is where any email signature can go. Now I want to email not only the client but also my superior, so I'll mark him off. So this is where the efficiencies come into play. We have created a milestone of events, or a timeline of milestones. We've pre-filled an email out without having to write it ourselves. We're emailing the client, we're letting our colleagues know, and we're posting a log, all in one action. And that's just what's happened. So we've got a log, it's recorded in chronological order. We've got the timeline there. We've got the recipients of that email. We've performed 3 or 4 communication actions within one move, and that is critical. That pretty much runs through the crux of the project management module. There are other features such as, mark as a sticky. This is urgent. Now you might want to say write a log, and you want your voice heard. Select the recipients, hit add post. It'll ask you if you're sure to make it loud and as a sticky, say yes, and there you go. Now in an instance where the phone rings inbound to the studio or the office and you need to pass on a message, the usual scenario, the traditional way things were done is with a post-it note. It gets lost, the client doesn't get followed up, and it's just bad for business. Everybody knows that. It's really easy now. Everybody can work as a team. They can take the call, they get into their log, they get off the call, please, so we'll say, I'll pass a message to George. George, please contact GN this afternoon. He's looking for you to discuss new project. Because it's web-based, we get the Google spell check on the way in our logs as well, so we don't have to be experts at typing either. Okay. Now I need to pass on a message. So what I'll do is I'll post this log to George. Now he knows by that log being posted that somebody's after him, he needs to contact them, he needs to get back to them. To help him along, I'll just say the client wants to be contacted by mobile, it's preferable, and then email after that. It's that simple.